Hello, you're watching Shalom World News. I'm Katie Asco from Dublin, Ireland, and these are your latest headlines from around the world. In Egypt, a long-awaited law regarding the personal legal status of Christians is soon expected to be ratified by the Parliament. The draft law will be discussed when the Parliament session begins on January 23rd. Its drafting began in 2014 with the involvement of all churches in the country and concluded in June last year after 16 sessions. Included were discussions on sensitive issues such as divorce and the legal separation of couples. The involvement of the churches in the drafting of the new law reflects the good ties between the Abdel Fattah al-Sisi government and the Christian community. Since he assumed office in 2014, President Sisi has made several friendly gestures towards Christians, especially the Copts, the largest Christian community in Egypt. He is the first president to attend the Coptic Orthodox Christmas liturgy. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that China's sanction on 4 U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom officials last month was an affront against universal rights. Blinken said the sanctions will not deter the U.S. and that the government supports the commission. He said the U.S. is committed to protecting human rights around the world and will use all diplomatic and political tools to promote accountability. Blinken also said that China's intimidation of human rights activists will only intensify international scrutiny of the genocide taking place in Xinjiang province, which is home to the Uyghur Muslim community. Conflict in the Tigray region of Ethiopia has escalated, with government troops conducting airstrikes on Monday, January 10th, killing at least 17 people, most of whom are women. Dozens more were injured. These air attacks take place after a drone attack on a camp for refugees just last Friday, January 7th, in which at least 56 people were killed and 30 injured. According to local reports, drone attacks take place on a daily basis in Tigray, though lack of communication facilities has prevented UN authorities from receiving the exact number of casualties in the region. In Tigray, fighting is ongoing between government troops and fighters of a local outfit which is seeking independence for the region. Mozambican troops have stepped up their offensive against Islamist militants in Cabo Delgado province with the support of the Southern African Development Community and Rwanda. This has allowed at least 30 hostages, mostly women and children, to escape from the jihadists who were forced to flee when the troops advanced. Some of the escaped revealed that they were given very little food by the captors, and many of them were sexually abused and forced to marry the terrorists. Since jihadist groups overran the province in 2017, over 3,500 people have been killed and 800,000 displaced. In a recent meeting of South African nations, South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa said that much progress has been made against jihadists in northeast Mozambique following military intervention. The government of Hong Kong is set to reveal a new set of national security laws in a bid to further stifle personal liberties and dissent. The communist government in Beijing has already imposed a draconian national security law that is being used to silence the media, critics, and rights activists through measures such as freezing assets and imposing charges for so-called sedition and subversive activities. The city's leader, Carrie Lam, said on Wednesday that the government will create new local legislation that meets Article 23 of the mini-constitution, calling for the city to pass its own national security laws. This will be in addition to the one imposed by Beijing. Specific offences under Article 23 include treason, sedition, secession, and subversion. The draft law would also prevent foreign political groups from holding activities in the city and from collaborating with local political organisations. From famous sports stars to local store owners, Pope Francis has had a week packed with kind gestures. On Wednesday, January 12th, the Supreme Pontiff signed a jersey of the Atletica Vaticana, the multi-sport team of the Vatican, which will be gifted to soccer star Lionel Messi. The previous evening, His Holiness visited an old record shop in Rome. He knows the owners of the shop, named Stereo Sound, from his days as Archbishop of Buenos Aires, as he used to stay at the Casa del Clero near the shop during his Rome visits. The Holy Father blessed the premises, which were recently renovated, and imparted his blessing to the owner Letizia, her son-in-law and daughter. Before he left, the Pope was gifted a vinyl 33 RPM record of classical music by the store owner's daughter. The documentary film Vivo, which is about the power of the Eucharist in transforming lives, will be released in Colombia on January 20th, showing in theatres across several cities. The documentary has been a box office hit in Spain, Mexico, Argentina, Ecuador and Peru. Directed by Jorge Pereira and produced by Hakuna, a pastoral effort of Father Jose Pedro Manglano, the documentary tells the true story of 4 people who turned to God after a life-changing experience. The North Dakota Catholic Conference, which represents the Catholic bishops of the state, is contacting parents of the students of the University of North Dakota and asking them to question the institution's proposed gender inclusion policy. The policy, which is in its draft form, mandates the use of a transgender person's preferred pronoun and the use of locker rooms and bathrooms that align with a person's gender identity. On behalf of Bishop David Kagan of Bismarck and Bishop John Fulda of Fargo, the conferences sent a letter to parents asking them to examine whether it is conducive or hostile to not only the Catholic faith, but also to the truth about the human person. The letter says that the educational institution's proposed policy demands acceptance of a particular ideology about gender and language that is against Catholic teaching and violates free speech and religious rights. Those are your latest headlines. Do join us tomorrow and visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.